Welcome everyone to episode 35 of After the Bell here on the Casa 18 Studios YouTube channel. It's Monday, that means it's After the Bell, of course. Hope you guys had a good weekend. And lots of questions today. Lots of things. We got Form Spring questions to start off the show. We've got not a whole lot because a lot of them were outdated because I went through, what was it, over 1,000 questions I found on there, Jay? Because a lot of them were from the same person, and I felt kind of bad for blocking the guy, but there were so many, and they were so nonsensical. It was like, I don't care about Kim Kardashian's reality show or her marriage or any of that stuff. It's like, I don't care. I don't care about any of that stuff. So, sorry, dude. But at the end of the day, I've got some from Form Spring. I've got some from YouTube. I've got some from Facebook, from Twitter. And to end the show, we will have the facepalm question of the week. Oh, yeah. There was one. This one earned it big time. And I'm debating where I'll get the guy's name. We'll see. We'll see if he's earned my wrath enough to get his name mentioned on the show. Alright. From Form Spring. Dino's Ghost. You are being beaten down in the ring and someone's music hits to let you know they are coming in to make the save. Who would you want that wrestler to be? Well, it depends where I'm at. You know, it really does depend on where I am currently at. If I'm in WWE, it's going to sound corny, but probably John. I know, it's horrible. TNA, AJ, you know, at the end of the day, one of the faces of the company. If I'm in Ring of Honor, nobody saves anybody in Ring of Honor. Everybody's out for themselves. Come on, there's a code of honor and all that, but you know, everybody they fight for their own selves in Ring of Honor. So you know, none of that mess there. And if I'm on the independent circuit, I gotta make sure my homie Marquee is looking out for me there, because you know, he's big, he's bad, he's nasty when he wants to be, but at the end of the day, he'll give you a big old hug when he picks you up to save the day.
Or the Commandos.
Or the Commandos. Okay, all three of them. Just have those three just like walk to the stage and just stand there like, really. Our homie, really? And watch the guys just like run through the back, run to the back the other direction. That works for me too. That works. We'll do that. This is from South Central. I had a conversation on Twitter about WCW 2.0 and TNA. I think it shouldn't be done. Number one, ECW 2.0 didn't work. Number two, it's taking screen time from the talent that has been working their asses off. Do you think WCW 2.0 would work or have any different effect than ECW? No. I liked WCW. I did. Until about 1999. Like, the problem with TNA and the way they're doing certain WCW things is that they're doing the wrong things. They're doing the things that made WCW keel over and die a slow, agonizing, cancer-ridden, stroke-worthy death. You know, it's not like the WCW that was in 96 and 97 and even early parts of 98. It's not that same company. So for it to be, you know, compared to WCW in that sense would be good, but it's not that WCW. It's the WCW 99 and 2000, 2001, where everybody was making mistakes and shit was just not going right. Simple as that. I got a little text. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn that down right now. Sorry about that. Okay. Mike Levier. With China getting into porn, I have to ask, if you could make a sex tape with any WWE diva, past or current, who would it be? I'd have to go with either Lita or Trish, because Lita seems like she can make the bed rock, and with Trish, well, who doesn't like Canadian Pie at the end of the day? Well, Trish is a buddy, so that's kind of wrong. I don't know about that one. Who would I make a sex? I would make a sex tape. You know why? Because somebody would leak that shit. I don't want that going out anywhere and seeing myself out there on display like for the world to see, because that's just wrong, Granddad. Boondocks reference. No. Oh no. Just no. Not even. Oh my God. Okay. Alpino, has the dropkick ever been used as a finisher, and if so, by who? I don't remember the dropkick ever being used as a finisher in my lifetime. I'm not sure if it was in the past, but I don't remember it ever being... Missile dropkicks, yes. I remember Booker T did a missile dropkick in WCW back in the day before he adopted the Harlem Hangover. But as far as an actual regular dropkick as a finisher, I don't believe it's ever been used as a finisher. I could be wrong. Maybe when it was first, unveiled to the world, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
It's like, don't quote me, but for some reason, Antonio Argentina Rocca's come into my head.
Yeah, you know what? He may have. Because he was always flying around the ring and hopping up and down and, doing all the crazy stuff. So it may have been him. But I honestly don't know for sure. And was Test the first to ever use the big boot as a finisher? Again, I don't know, and this is more of a Statboy realm. This is more of a question to ask Statboy if Statboy actually did Q&A more often. I'm supposed to be the big historian and all that, but I don't recall. I know Test did, but I don't remember if anybody before him. And this is back before '99, so maybe, but I don't recall that ever actually taking place. So sorry. Killenberg, how did you like ECW One Night Stand 2006? I liked it. I liked that show. It wasn't, it was a good launch for the new ECW. You had a great series of matches there. You had Kurt Angle and Randy Orton in a great match. You had your typical ECW stuff. You had like the Balls Mahoney and that kind of stuff. And then you had a very interesting WWE Championship match between Rob and John, and that went back and forth quite a bit. You had a world title match which got stopped by the doctors in ECW. Yeah. Anyway, and I didn't agree with that at all, but I guess that wasn't under Extreme Rules, so they stopped it that way because it wasn't an Extreme Rules match, even though it was an ECW. Let's take that for what it's worth. Okay. Rising Phoenix 87. Do you think Lita will be inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, and who would induct her? Well, Lita will definitely get inducted. As far as her inductor, it really depends on who's good with it and good standing with the company. Edge is your obvious choice right now because he's still good standing with the company. If the Hardys make their way back, they're the obvious choice, obviously. The Hardys and Lita were defined with each other for the better part of many years, but if the Hardys stay on bad terms, or maybe just maybe Matt and Edge together. Yes, sir.
Trish, her greatest rival.
That too. That's another possibility. I want to see induct Lita more than anybody else. The Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, because Lord knows J.J. loved him some Lita. Oh, hey, Pee-wee. Pee-wee should do it. Pee-wee should do it.
Lita should induct Pee-wee.
And the celebrity wing. There you go. They can induct each other. It'd be good stuff. Good times. Good times for all. That was the dumbest answer in the history of After the Bell. Okay, anyway. Another one from Killenberg. Do you think a WWE will eventually buy TNA? No. TNA is, at the end of the day, independently wealthy, thanks to Pan Energy and the Carters. They'll be fine. They're not going to get bought out. They will continue to survive, not necessarily thrive, but definitely survive, independently away from WWE and Vince McMahon. And this one is from Chris Matthews, 1990. Could any wrestler today be a Roddy Piper type wrestler and not win the world title but be one of the biggest names in the business, or do they count on them being world champions to be a star these days? I really don't see anybody being a marquee, big name, number one type heel or babyface without being the champion. It doesn't work anymore, and that's sad to say because it did work for Roddy back in the 80s. It did work for, Sting was champion in the 90s for a while, but he also carried the company on his back without being the champion. Sting was a great guy in WCW. Sting's a great guy in TNA now. AJ's one of the top guys in TNA, and he's not the champion. But for the most part, to be the flagship of the company, you need to be the champion. And that's a sad state and a sad statement on the current situation in wrestling, but it just is what it is. Alright, this is directly on Facebook. This is from Gilmer Vidal. What do you think is one of the most underrated matches in WWE history? I think The Rock versus Undertaker versus Kurt Angle Vengeance 02 for the Undisputed Championship. And what match do you think was the most overrated? I think Goldberg versus Brock at WrestleMania 20. I don't think that match is overrated at all. I think everybody realizes that match sucked. That match was horrid. And the Garden let them know how bad it was. As far as underrated, the match you mentioned definitely is up there. I mean, that triple threat match, I don't like triple threat matches. I made that more than clear in the last 10 years. I'm not a fan of triple threats, never have been, or fatal four ways, or six-pack, none of that stuff. But that triple threat match between The Undertaker and Kurt Angle and The Rock at Vengeance in 2002 was definitely one of the better ones I've seen. And it made for a good finish with The Rock not beating The Undertaker. Undertaker, you know, it slowly evolved The Undertaker back into the babyface role. It worked for him. It worked for him. It did. As far as other matches, there's so many that are underrated and overrated. It's hard to just narrow it down. What do you think there, Captain Man?
I agree. I mean, putting me on the spot, I can't really think of underrated now. You know, it's like my mind is drawing a blank.
Yeah. Can you see the TV from? Can you lean over to see the TV at all by chance? Just look at this. Does that guy look like Lou Thez? A little bit in his old age? Yeah. The guy doing the Kentucky Derby. We're taping this on Saturday. I'm breaking kayfabe. I really don't care.
God damn it.
God damn it. And the guy doing the Kentucky Derby right now looks a lot like Lou Thez in his old age. I know that because I was watching the World Championship DVD the other night, and Lou Thez just looks just like this guy. I don't know who it is. Don't know his name. But anyway, all right. These are from YouTube, which are always exciting. Let's see. Jordan Carter Brand. I really need help figuring out this logic. Lesnar literally beats the hell out of Cena at Extreme Rules, and yet Cena somehow survived and was able to pick up the victory. Immediately following the match or fight, haha, Cena went on record as saying he was leaving for a while. Why give Cena the win if he is just going to leave, aka take some time off? Where's the logic? John's not supposed to take time off. John got hurt in the match. In the fight, whatever. And he was supposed to take time off after that. He obviously is not, because he is now working over the limit with Laurinaitis and involved in storylines on Raw. We'll see what happens tonight on Raw. You know, we'll see what happens on Raw. The logic is Brock was hired to come in and lose to Cena in his opening match. Will he lose some more? Probably not. He'll probably go to SummerSlam and face Hunter and just obliterate Hunter, and then he'll have his match with The Rock at WrestleMania. And we'll see where he goes from there after the year contract is over. Do you think that Cena winning that match hurt Brock moving forward from here? The Dark Lord's night. No. Brock is a certifiable badass. He's a killing machine, and him losing the match only because Cena punched him with a chain in the face and AA'd him through the steps, you know, it doesn't hurt Brock. It just makes Cena look lucky. Exactly what that makes it look like. Let's see. Cards Fin 21. Has the WWE made any progress in trying to find a place for a Hall of Fame building, or is it still just a great idea? I really think it's a great idea, and if you're going to have a Hall of Fame and a Hall of Fame ceremony every year, the night before WrestleMania, give the WWE Universe a place to visit in between WrestleManias each year. I have heard, and you know, Shane McMahon talked about it when he was still in charge of that division, that they are looking for a Hall of Fame building, and they're talking about in, I think, Florida. Which, you know, Florida's, you know, I don't know why. I mean, they're based in Connecticut, so, you know, Connecticut, or they're based in New York with the Garden. How about New York? Or, you know,
put it somewhere in the Midwest, kind of in the middle of both coasts, like St. Louis.
Yeah, kind of like a Cooperstown for baseball.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. You know, but in any event, there should be a Hall of Fame building. There should. I mean, the other Hall of Fames in wrestling have a building, except I think the NWA does not. But I know the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame does. I know the other one, the Lou Thez one does. Yeah, make a building. I'd like to see it. I'd like to go visit it. You know, save some money in the Constitution Studios channel money, and you know, go visit the Hall of Fame. Why not? Parian78, Jeff, do you think Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara should form a tag team? There's a whole big paragraph of this. I'm just gonna say no. No, I don't think they should. I personally think Rey Mysterio should not come back. Period. Rey, he's either constantly hurt, constantly suspended, constantly having something wrong with him. Again, you guys don't like Rey Mysterio because of the push he got, but on a personal thing, I do like Rey's in-ring work. I always have, but he's well past his prime, you guys. I know he was a young man when he started. He's not an old man yet, but, he's so beat up leg-wise. Both his legs are fucked up, especially his knees. He's not going to be the same Rey Mysterio he was when he has been gone. It's not the same Rey Mysterio. And Sin Cara is a botch fest.
If I may, not to troll you or put you on blast,
That's okay.
Read the rest of the question there, because the points the guy makes kind of addresses some of that.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Parian78. I'll go ahead and read your question. My bad. I think yes for two reasons. Firstly, it means Rey not spending too much time in the ring, so that means staying healthy longer. Plus, Sin Cara will have someone to learn off of, and secondly, the kids will go crazy for this team, thus getting interested in the tag team division again. May be true about the whole keeping Rey out of the ring a lot, but and the kids will dig it. The kids will dig those guys being together. But as far as that team bringing into the tag team division again, no, I'm sorry. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. The tag team division needs more than a couple of popular African American gentlemen like Truth and Kofi, or popular luchadors like Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. They need solid tag teams. Period. Not these throw together makeshift stuff. They need the Usos. They need the Hart Dynasty. They need, tag teams that are established and have been established for a while, and they need to get tag teams established. That's the thing. They don't have any established tag teams right now, and that's the killer part. If they put these guys together and have them work for a while, maybe I'll change my statement. But for right now, Red 56 reigns. Jeff, here's my question. How do you feel about JJ being on the latest episode of Fuck Jeff Meacham? It's a good question. I was waiting for somebody to ask me this. Since y'all know JJ's back there, I'm kind of put on the spot to answer the question in front of him. I don't have a problem with it. I really don't, because at the end of the day, Fuck Jeff Meacham is a show that is, based on a dislike of me that is really unwarranted at the end of the day. The host of that show claims that I censored him and, put him down and, kind of buried his defense of a friend, and it's just not the way it was at all. It was simply trying to avoid drama. And I've been asked if I'm going to address this on a more longer scenario, and I am seriously considering going on that show myself and addressing him face to face. So, do I have a problem with JJ being on the show? No. The only thing I have a problem with is the name of the show itself, and at the end of the day, if that's what he wants to call his show, I've been addressed worse by worse people. Ray's not the worst guy in the world. There's people out there that it's very easy to be hated in wrestling. I've been taught that by my peers, and I don't seek out love and affection from the fans and from my colleagues. If they're gonna like me, that's their choice. If they're not, that's their choice too. This next one's from J1992. Hey, my question is for Jeff, JJ, and Statboy. Well, Statboy's not here. Statboy's actually making his 9-to-5 living today. With Brock injuring Triple H on Raw, could this possibly lead to a match at WrestleMania 29, with Triple H doing a surprise comeback sometime after the Chamber next year, and face Brock at Mania, possibly with the belt on the line, and make one last run for Triple H as WWE Champion? Personally, I think it would be a more intense feud with Triple H instead of The Rock. Your thoughts? I'd like to see either one of them face Brock at WrestleMania, but the rumor is it's going to be The Rock, and the rumor is is going to be Triple H at SummerSlam once the arm heals up. And granted, I got so much shit on the After the Bell comments about how Triple H's arm, it's still real to me. Dude, the guy's arm's broken. It's been filtered through the news. It's not just me saying it. Triple H's arm is seriously fucked up. It'll take at least 3 months for it to heal. So, come SummerSlam, Triple H will be ready to go, and he'll face Brock at SummerSlam. So I don't think we'll see that at WrestleMania. But maybe that's just me. Jay?
Whether the arm break is real or not at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's irrelevant.
Right.
I think what they should do is maybe not give us Hunter Brock at Mania, leave that for Rocky to come in and make his billion-dollar payday.
Right.
But give us what had been rumored prior to the Triple H scenario of Brock and Orton at SummerSlam. Maybe since Orton is this huge babyface right now, have him defending Hunter. And then come Survivor Series, have Hunter fight Brock. That way Brock has got a top caliber opponent at all the major pay-per-views.
It'd be funny if Orton defend Triple H's honor after all these years, after all the stuff they've been through. But they're both baby faces now, so I don't know.
And then at the Rumble, maybe do like Brock and Punk or something.
Right. All right. Now these are from at least from Twitter or from YouTube. These 4.
They're still YouTube.
Still YouTube. Okay. Sorry. So many questions today. Like I said. Carnius797. How do we get involved in the book club? I have been lacking on that big time. I've not put the event page up.
There wasn't one for Flair's book.
I know there wasn't. At this point, since we're late in the month, or not late in the month, but we're still a few days in only, I'll put the event page up today, which is Monday as you guys are watching this. I'll put it up today, and I'll create it. But go out and check out from the library, or buy it from your bookstore if they still have it. Amazon.com, eBay.com.
Kindle,
yeah. If you have a Kindle, get on your Kindle. I'm not sure if that book is available on Kindle, but if it is, go for it. Rope Opera: How WCW Killed Vince Russo by Vince Russo. I don't have the book in front of me to, but it's over there. But go get that book. That's the book for the month, and there you go. Simple as that. Just go read the book. That's how you get involved with the book club, is read the book.
And then on the videos that me and Jeff post where we do the book review, post your own video response to it, letting us know what you thought of the book.
There you go.
If you've read The Edge and the Flair books, go back and on those videos, post your video responses, and do that in all the future ones. Post a video response, your review of the book.
There you go. And remember, above all else, do not present Ric Flair with your copy of his book if he's having a drunken day. Okay. WWE Anime Fans, has Rico Dynamite ever been with other promoters than NWA? Yes. He is currently the Battleground Heavyweight Champion, which is what we're heavily involved in there. He's done a lot of SoCal stuff. I'm not sure where he's ventured outside of Southern California. You'd have to Facebook him yourself. Rico Dynamite, I believe is his name on Facebook. So ask him yourself, because I really don't know. But he's definitely on NWA Hollywood. He's definitely on Battleground shows.
LCW, I believe he's in Mex PW, Mex Pro.
Well, LCW definitely, because that's the Santino's home promotion.
Right, but the Mex PW, the XPW knockoff that they've done, I believe he's in that too.
Right, I believe you're right. So you can see Rico over SoCal. You just gotta Facebook him and look up his stuff, and you'll find him on there. Trust me. The Sparta 1812. Why don't you guys, Staffwhite Renegade and the Bearded Meech, just do a joint show and answer the questions? I know it'd be like an hour show, but I'd watch it. Well, it's funny you mention a joint show, because coming up very, very soon, before you even know it may have already happened. You never know. You have to go back in time with your DeLorean. There will be an epic Staffboy show. Not answering questions, but it will be talking about the 50 greatest WWE tag teams in history according to WWE. This list is going to be picked apart piece by piece, brick by brick, stone by stone, and ripped apart by me, for sure. Possibly JJ and Mike. Yeah, I know JJ and Mike agree with some of the choices, but that list is just god-awful, WWE.com, seriously. And, it's wow. Alright, so there you go. This is from Goof Troop 21. I wish I had Goofy's voice to read it, but I have Bill Palmer to read it. So, What is your favorite Raw match of all time? Probably Angle versus Benoit in the cage. That match was sick. From beginning to end, it told a great story. It was well written. It was well put out. Austin being involved was awesome. It was just a great match overall. I think that's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. There's so many. I mean, you have Raw. You got 15, almost 20 years worth of stuff. There's so many great choices. But that one stuck out in my mind first when I read the questions. So I'll go with that. All right, from the Facebook fan page. Dylan likes, with Lesnar attacking Triple H and Cena taking on Laurinaitis, who do you believe will be Lesnar's next opponent? I'd love to see Lesnar and Triple H, but I also feel it will be a slap in the face to the Goodbye Attitude Era style match we had this past WrestleMania. Your thoughts? Well, again, we've not seen Raw yet. That's tonight, as you're watching this. But I'm hearing Brock's going to be suspended for his actions the last few weeks, so I don't think he'll have an opponent for the next few months. So, and yeah, it would be a big slap in the face of the end of an era style match that Hunter and The Undertaker had at WrestleMania, because then we have, another guy from the end of the Attitude Era and the beginning of the Brand Extension Era coming in and facing Hunter. So I agree with that statement. It'd be a slap in the face, no question. Do you think the WWE bringing Lesnar back to WWE means WWE is leaning towards something like the Attitude Era, like now with more blood? Maybe not the Attitude Era necessarily, but definitely bringing an edge back. No, not Adam Copeland. To the style of the show. Perhaps more intense, more legitimacy, as they've talked about the last few weeks. Definitely more shoot style stuff, more strong style stuff, more in your face stuff. But nothing like the Attitude Era will never be recreated. The Attitude Era was the greatest era in WWE history, in my opinion. More so than the Golden Age, more so than the 80s. The Attitude Era redefined everything. Tyler Dean Trieg, with the match between Punk and Danielson finally happening at a pay-per-view, do you feel it will meet the same match quality as the other matches a few months ago? God, I hope so. They have to deliver so bad on pay-per-view. They have to deliver so well. They have to come through and really just turn it up. They have to. And I hope they do. We're probably not going to get this one because we said that for last month too, and we got it anyway. But we really can't afford it now. I hope that we can, because I just for that match alone I want to see the show. The two greatest in the world right now, one-on-one on pay-per-view. My God. Joey Adams, didn't you think Lesnar versus Cena at Extreme Rules was a god-awful match, and also it's seeming like WWE is kind of trying to build up the tag team division? Do you think they'll build it up just to break it down again? Talked about tag teams earlier. They need to establish more tag teams to build the tag division before they can break it down again. So we'll see how they do with Truth and Kofi, with the Colognes, with the Usos, with all the tag teams that they have on the various shows right now. If they do it right, they can do well, excuse me. But I don't think they're going to. As far as Lesnar Cena, yeah, that was pretty one-sided, it was pretty much an ass whooping for 19 and 20 minutes, and then the finish was just horrible. Whatever. Tom Osborne, do you think with Kofi and Ron winning the belts and Mark Henry not really doing anything, there will be a nation-type faction building with these young African-American talent that have been floating around? It could give Darren Young and Titus O'Neil something to do as well. I miss factions and wish they could use young talent like they did back in the Attitude Era, like Rock, Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, and many others who have made it out of the faction and made it to the big time. Why is it that when they have 3 or 4 or 5 black guys just kind of floating around, they have to put the nation back together? I don't understand that. It's like, y'all are profiling. All y'all. Seriously, they don't have to have black guys raising their fists in the air and doing black power just because they're not doing anything else. Kofi and Truth are just fine being a tag team. Mark Henry's just fine being the world's strongest man. Titus and Darren can be challengers for Kofi and Truth. They're a decent tag team too. Maybe a little mutual respect after, perhaps. Don't need to have the nation all the time. time. You don't need factions all the time. It's okay. I know you like the nation, Jay. I'm sorry. I know. All right. Alex Cato, with Lesnar set for limited dates and him versus Triple H in the works for SummerSlam, how is WWE build with Lesnar not going to appear as frequently as they say The Rock did, around Mania? Again, I'm waiting to see what happens tonight on Raw with Brock, whether he's gone for a few months or not. Then we will address Brock Lesnar as far as what he's going to do for the next month, 2, 3, 4 months. McMurray, how do you meet all the famous dudes? You've got pictures with everyone. I went to stalking school. True story. No, you just find out where the appearances are. And you go, and you get in line like everybody else. You take the picture, you get the autograph, you put your money down if you need to, and you make it happen. Certain guys I had to, kind of weasel my way to get, like Hogan. God, it took forever to get that picture. Hogan and I went to his book signing, got the picture of him signing my book and shaking my hand, but to get the actual picture of two of us posing together, I had to hide behind a bookshelf from security before he was getting ready to go to the back room for the rest of the night and not come back out. So yeah, it's definitely an art to getting pictures. JJ got the picture with Vince, but literally, they were waiting there at the access, and I think JJ shouted at Vince, and the security guard told them that Vince has better things to do than address the fans, and Vince's like, whoa, I can't have that happen. So he went over and took the picture. It was as simple as that. And it's just stuff like that. You just right place, right time. That's really what it comes down to. Is right place, right time. All right, these are from Twitter. Sean Proctor has 2 of them today. Is psychology more important than wrestling? Example, Dean Malenko, great wrestler, Hogan, average wrestler. I think that the combination of the two is the key. You look at Dean Malenko, who's a great technical wrestler. You look at Bryan Danielson, who's a great technical wrestler, but has really come out of his shell the last few months and done both. You've got Chris Benoit, who never really emerged from that black hole of charisma type thing that he was in. Great wrestler, one of the best ever, but never really, showed that he had a tremendous amount of charisma. And you have guys like Eddie Guerrero, who was a tremendous in-ring talent and could also, talk a blue streak and had charisma from here to Wednesday. Stuff like that. It really depends on who it is. And Hogan, never the best wrestler in the world, but definitely the most charismatic. One of, definitely. It really depends on a mix of both. And, some guys have it, some guys don't. And Sean, I'm finally getting to your question. What made or kept you a wrestling fan? It brings me to tears thinking of the passion and what brought me in. What made me a wrestling fan, honestly, was tuning in and seeing these guys who seemed bigger than life, just, battling it out for the chance to be the top guy in their profession. And, each and every week coming out there and cutting interviews and wrestling matches and, defending the honor of the fans and all that happy stuff like Hogan did back in the day or whatever. What kept me a fan? It's hard to say for me because everybody else I know has wavered at one point or another, except for you. So it's really hard to say for me what's kept me a fan. I think just the intrigue that keeps me watching, the constant drama, the constant, sucking in of soap opera type, storylines and things like that. It really keeps me on the edge of my seat. And then George Cushney, when did the world titles of WWE become secondary to being John Cena? April 3rd, 2005? That's when. True story. Alright, here we go. Let me spin my cap around here. Because Gilmer Vidal, my friend, I answered a question of yours earlier, but this week's question... Oh, God. Who do you think Undertaker will face at WrestleMania next year? I think the choices are Lesnar, Cena, or Rock, but at the end of the day, it looks like Brock Lesnar right now. Brock and Rock. Undertaker and Cena. Said this a bunch. And how in the world are they going to top Taker versus Triple H Hell in a Cell? They're not! You can't top the match from this year! It's just not going to happen! Damn it! Told y'all! I throw my phone in frustration. I have a new tweet, but I'll get to it next show. Facepalm of the week! It's back! Alright. Happy Jeff back. Make sure I have to. Okay. This episode is in the can now. My goodness, I don't know how long we took. It was quite a long show. Thank you all for watching and enduring. I'm going to go with the shower because I stink. Because I've been sitting here for a minute getting all worked up. Just crazy questions. We will see you, for me, Wednesday on Ringside Insanity. For the rest of the channel, tune in tomorrow for Renegade Wrestling. We hope. We'll see you next time.